Hey there, this is Daryl Olson from the Jackson Fishing Team. We're going to get into our, I believe it's our fourth fly for speckled sea trout here on the East Coast in the Charleston area and all that. And this is going to be a what's called an electric sushi. Sounds like something you might want to eat, but I don't know, maybe the fish will. Anyway, it's a minnow pattern where you're going to use some dubbing material, long dubbing material, and that to create this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fly.
As we tie up this fly, this is what it's going to look like when we get done tying it. But after we get done tying it there, we have to do some work on it on top of that, and eventually it will look something like this one here. So don't worry, it's a mess. That's what we're going to tie, but you'll get to see that. So why don't we go ahead and we'll start tying. I'll take this mess out of there, and the hook I'm going to use is a Gamakatsu SC-15 in a size 1. And I'm going to go ahead and debarb my hook. Probably scared you there for a minute, huh? And the thread I'm going to use is some 210 Ultra thread, UTC in 210 Denier in white. And we'll just go ahead and start this right at the hook and lay down some thread. And right where the barb is, we're going to put in our first material. And I'm going to use some Frenzy Fly fibers from Just Add H2O. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of pull a bunch out of there like that. And then we're going to try to make it into a ball. And we're going to tie it right on top here with 3 wraps or so. And I'm going to go ahead and put one right back here. And then one over the top. And then I'm going to pull this back and give it about 3 wraps, 4 wraps, somewhere like that. And then I'm going to take some super glue, or in my case some Zap-A-Gap, and kind of secure that in place here on the front. And then to help lock that in, I'm going to give it a couple more here. And I'm going to turn it upside down. Next, I'm going to take that same material, and I'm going to pull some out of here. And again, I'm going to make a ball. And I'm going to tie that on the bottom of the hook with about 3 wraps. And about 3 or 4 wraps right there. And I'm going to take some of that super glue again and put that on top of that thread. and give it a couple secure wraps again. I'm going to turn my back over on the top, and now all the rest of the materials are going to go on top of there. This is where you can pick whatever color you want. I'm using some American Tide Flies Magnum dubbing in Shockem pink. And again, I'm just going to take out some and kind of make a ball with it. Make a ball. And keep that on top of the hook. And about 3 wraps there, and a little super glue. And a few more locking wraps just to secure that super glue. And I'm going to take and make up another ball with the same material. And tie that on top of the hook. Secure it with about 3 wraps. And then some super glue to hold that. Now I'm going to be adding a weed guard, but for now I'm going to tie it off. I'm going to give it a whip finish here to cut the line off. Before I put the weed guard on, we're gonna pick this out, and I'd get a good bodkin, sturdy bodkin, and we're gonna just start picking this out. And any fibers, if you've got any coming off like that, you can save those for the next fly. But I'm going to shut up right now, and we're going to put this in speed it up a bit so you don't have to watch me pick this out. All right, it's still a mess, but that's okay. I'm going to take it out now and kind of pull on it. And there we got the rough shape. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to take a red marker and I'm going to put like some red spots for like the gills right about where the bend of the hook is. On there, and then I'm gonna use some red eyes because that's what I have. Some on this fly, it's a 1/4 inch, and then I'm gonna use some liquid fusion. You can use whatever you want, but I find this works pretty good for adhering the flies to this. And I'm going to put a drop right there. And I'm going to put an eye there, and on that, and I'll put another drop on this side, trying to make sure I get the eye about where it's at. And what's nice about this liquid fusion is that it doesn't set up very fast, so I can maneuver those eyes a little bit if I need to. Let's see here. I think I can move this one up just a little bit. Move it back a little bit. All right, then while that's setting up, I'm going to take an olive gray marker, and I'm going to kind of put some bars just above the and on the other side. on there. And we're going to go ahead and let that dry for a little bit. Okay, now we're going to use some flex cement. You can use whatever flexible cement you have. I'm just going to use it to try to keep these eyes on a little bit better and to help form the head. You want to use a flexible cement that will stay flexible and not on that part. Then I'm going to pull this back and I'm going to kind of just run this glue with my fingers. And using a UV type, you can then use your UV light and it'll help form that head but still be flexible. And it might help keep those eyes on just a little bit longer, because I'll guarantee you the fish will probably chew them off anyway. Next we're going to do is we're going to put on a weed guard. And in this case I'm going to use some 40-pound real saltwater mono because it's a hard mono. And I'll take some of this off. And then I'm going to bend it in half. And then give it a flat spot with my pair of smooth pliers. I'm going to set that down and start my thread again. And then I'm going to loop it around this, and I'm going to give it 2 or 3 wraps on this side, or on the nose side here. And then I'm going to give it a few wraps underneath it. And then I'm going to pull it down. And I'll whip finish again. And then I'm going to just make sure that my 2 prongs are pretty close to the middle there. So when I apply my UV again, and I'm going to whip finish. Give it one more. take some UV resin, some fin, and apply it under here. And then I'm going to shoot that. And that should hold my there, and then I'll put some UV resin on the top. And then I'll trim off my weed guard so it's just above the point, using my dikes right here. And there you have it, my little minnow pattern made from dubbing called the Electric Sushi.
Well, I hope you found that interesting, even though I'm tying it up for speckled trout. You know, if you tie it up in your favorite colors or your minnows that you have in your area, it might even work for bass. But me, I tied them up for some speckled trout. Anyway, I'm Daryl. Hopefully you'll tie a few of these up and let us know what you catch on them. And we will see you on the water. All right.